Pathways to Wholeness podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and I thank you for joining us for this next episode of meditative teaching. Please note that these meditations were recorded in a tropical environment with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds in the background. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Okay, let's just settle in, relax, maybe take a few breaths and just listen to the music before the teaching starts. We have heard of the unconscious or subconscious mind, a mind where decisions and choices have been made in the past, but which have been pushed away from conscious awareness, a place where memories and stories from the past have been hidden. There is a big difference between the subconscious and the unconscious. The unconscious is where the kinds of things that keep our bodies running are operated from our heartbeat, our breath. And some gurus are able to make even those kind of processes conscious. But we are mostly interested in the subconscious, which is a creation of our mind and a decision to have certain things locked out of our conscious awareness. The subconscious mind is not really a thing. It is a decision, a choice. But the decisions and choices made in the subconscious mind override, for the most part, decisions made in the conscious mind. Which is why the spiritual journey is a journey and requires practice and dedication. Because just because we say we want to surrender, and even if we say we will surrender, we will allow ourselves, we may find that resistance arises. That resistance arises out of the subconscious mind, out of decisions made which override the decision we might have made today. That is not always the case, and we will see how those decisions can take place. But we must understand that the subconscious mind is actually a decision itself. It is a choice. A very primitive choice. The choice to just block out memories and stories and feelings. It's not a very sophisticated way of dealing with things, but it was probably all that was available when the choices were made. Because some of them were made before we were even self-conscious, probably. They are a natural response of the body to stress or trauma. It's overwhelming. It can't be processed. So we have spoken of our journey being one of waking up, becoming conscious. Becoming conscious means expanding our self-awareness, bringing the subconscious back into conscious awareness. Revealing those choices and decisions, revealing those stories and feelings. They are not kept away from us. We keep them away. It takes a lot of courage and determination to become available like that. And that is our practice. Becoming present, becoming conscious, releasing any idea of victimization, that somehow there is something we can't do, or something that is withheld from us. Every time we give any credence to that idea, we deny the truth of ourselves, which is that all power rests within us, and our connection, our oneness with the infinite. We cannot possibly be victims. We have made difficult choices in difficult times, and there's no one to blame for that. It is no one's fault. And when we accept that the power is within us to change those decisions, then we become available to a more expanded consciousness. And so, let us affirm that we are not victims. There are choices that we have made that we are not conscious of. But as soon as we recognize that there is nothing to stop us from knowing ourselves, except ourselves, as soon as we see the truth of that, we acknowledge our fear, the fear that is the basis of creating the subconscious and the ego, then we are much freer to surrender and let go. And so, that is our purpose, our task in this practice. To become conscious of what we are doing right now, test our willingness to let go and surrender. And if all we find is resistance and frustration, then we know there is a subconscious decision to stay in control. If we acknowledge and recognize that decision, it becomes conscious. The more we recognize and acknowledge it, the less power it has and the more we are able to make a different decision. We begin to see that that decision is not in our best interests. It is, in fact, the basis of much suffering and struggle. So let us not fight with resistance, not judge ourselves, for our inability to let go or surrender completely. There is nothing wrong. We are not failing. We're not inadequate. This is our path, our journey. The only reason it seems bad is because we're causing ourselves pain and suffering. We don't have to do that anymore. And this is where we see the value of cultivating a state of acceptance and allowing. It is much different to say, I see that I still have unconscious decisions, which are causing me some fear of letting go. And I'm going to accept that and allow that and sit with it and be with it without judgment. That is a much different statement than, I can't get over my resistance, I can't let go. I must not be spiritual enough. I must not be trying hard enough. I must be bad or wrong. I will never get there. It is not for me. Those are the statements of a victim. So let us remind ourselves again of the power of acceptance and allowing, the power of gratitude for opening our eyes to reality. Let us cultivate that acceptance, knowing that there can't be anything wrong. That is not possible. And so, we can acknowledge and affirm that things are unfolding exactly as they should. That we shouldn't be anywhere other than where we are right now. We can't claim that there is anything wrong. We have come to believe that we control the world and ourselves. That is the ego's claim. But the ego has no such power whatsoever. Its only power is to limit and deny. We have free will to create a world of our own imagining, but that's not reality. It takes effort to limit and control, which leaves us tired and exhausted, makes us sick, makes us uncomfortable, unfriendly, whatever way it plays out for us. There is an absolute truth, a universal truth. There is one consciousness, an infinite and timeless consciousness. It is all there is, because it is infinite. That means it is everywhere, all the time. We are within it. We are one with it. We are not separate in any way. That truth is unchanging. It is absolute. And so, our journey is the journey of becoming present to ourselves. Knowing ourselves. Fully and completely. Expanding our consciousness. Becoming conscious. The original idea behind the creation of the subconscious and the ego and the identity was there was something about us that was not welcome, that needed to be hidden, that needed to be controlled. But now we recognize that we have lost our connection with the truth, with the peace and joy and love that is our natural state. We're like someone who has hidden a valuable piece of gold in their house so long ago and forgotten that they have it and live in poverty while trying to find gold. What we are searching for is right here within us right now. It's not lost. It is all there is. There is nothing else. The treasure you seek is within you, and it is indeed a treasure. We spend so much time seeking that treasure outside of us. Let us acknowledge now that we will only find it inside. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you'd like more information on these meditations and teachings, visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Surrender. These are guided meditations designed to support you in letting go of whatever tensions or false ideas you might be holding about how things really are, and reaching a state of peace and surrender. That's Pathways to Surrender. Look for the next episode soon. We're uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.